I think crop circles are cool. Have you heard of any crop circles recently? I haven't. Crop circles were huge in the 90s and 2000s, I think, but not now. You never hear about them. Why did they all of a sudden stop? Was the plant art too avant-garde for our human eyes? I know some of them was just so geometrically genius that I just could not comprehend them. Anyway, I stumbled across this story. It's so rando, and it actually took place in Australia in the 1960s. So that was a long time ago, in Far North Queensland, rural Far North Queensland, in a place called Tully. I don't even know where that is. And I'm like, whoa, crop circles? Really? There's still crop circles? And it happened in Australia, of all places. I never even knew we had a crop circle anything here. Alas, we have. So I want to look at this story because a crop circle, it's UFOs, it's in Australia, but nowhere near where I live anyway. Another state, Far North Queensland. It's like so far away. I like the way that this story starts off on the ABC website. Okay, so there's a sugarcane farm in Far North Queensland. It feels isolated and private. And then it zooms in, pans down over this murky looking mosquito infested creek. The story is entitled The Cane Farm Crop Circles and an Enduring UFO Mystery. Apparently it's taken 60 years for these guys to like talk about it. They were only wee young lads at the time. But this is a photograph of what they saw. Now, when you look at it, it's not like the sophisticated geometrical mysteries that we are accustomed to. No. These are kind of messy to me. Nevertheless, it is sort of like a circle form. And these are bulrushes. One of the guys sitting in the middle of the crop circle. Like, why would you be sitting in it if you just saw it? Isn't it radioactive? I'm pretty sure they're radioactive. So anyway, this story just goes on for so long before it even gets to like the good bits. So one of the guys, his name's George Pedley. He was a young banana farmer at the time, and he was only in his 20s. Apparently a young bachelor as well. That's the dude right there, okay? And to just put things into perspective, at the time in the 60s, there was a lot of hype about aliens, UFOs, interplanetary exploration. It was a thing at the time. You had Pleiadians coming to visit in their ships in the desert and everything. So it was the wet season in January 1966 when the small town of Tully lost its head because a crop circle appeared. Oh my gosh, can you imagine how much fluff is inserted into these articles? Like, seriously, I just want the facts. Please, ABC, just facts. These two young boys went and ran across the cane paddock, and sure enough, they saw a perfect circle of flattened bulrush in the middle of the water, about 9 meters in diameter and floating like a pontoon. There were no markings around it, no trail from machinery that might have fabricated the unusual imprint. And he says that he was driving his tractor that morning when he heard this like hissing noise, and he hopped out because he thought he punctured his tire. Must have been a UFO. And then he goes on to say that it just got louder and louder. Then he turned around and looked up and saw, oh my God, he saw a UFO just above the treetops. And it tilted, like it hesitated, and then it was gone. And then he looked back at the lagoon and the water was swirling. So Shane, who saw it, clearly recalled his neighbor picking up 2 teacup plates from the table, tipping one upside down and placing them lip to lip. This was what he had seen. A flying saucer illuminated with bright lights and hissing away in a puff of blue vapor. Blue vapor. Okay, so we know to add that one to the list of things to look out for when you think you might have saw a UFO or a UAP, whatever term you want to use. Okay, so obviously everyone's going to go, these guys have lost the plot. So apparently they were saying these blokes had gone troppo. That's what they say here in Australia. It's slang. It's slang for being driven mad by excessive heat and maybe too much boozing. However, George is not a drinker, of course. He's living the clean, crystal clear life. Sharp mind. Their sighting was published by the local newspaper, it seems. There it is there. After this sighting, they were like freaking out and thinking that they were like going crazy, like what the hell's going on? So he like, makes himself a cup of tea so he can like reflect and starts questioning everything as you would. Like, don't you like just constantly go, oh, no, I don't think I really saw that. Did that really like actually happen? Like, I don't know. I do that all the time. Like, did I see that move? It was like my mind playing tricks on me. I don't know. Like, we all get like that, hey? Like, we never ever want to believe anything anymore. He returns back to the lagoon and discovers the floating mat of reeds, almost woven in a clockwise swirl into a perfect geometric circle of botanical fabric. I wouldn't say it was woven. It more looks like it was just, smushed down. It sounds so methodical, but I don't think it was. So, cue the police. Obviously, there's not a good UFO story without the police turning up. The police! The government! Shit. Oh my God, they're here. So anyway, the police eventually turned up because somebody like called them. Oh my God, there was even Karens back then. And the weird encounter spread like a contagion throughout the small little town where, everyone was like telling each other things, like how word gets around in those small towns. Is that the police report? They actually did a police report. I'm surprised. I thought it would be like one of those who was that? Officer Wiggum, whatever, typing it up on his imaginary typewriter. But okay, they really did type this one up. Cool. I think it's cool. Real or not, it's cool. I don't know. I think it could be real. I don't know. I think I'm too early, am I? Yeah. I suppose they were all capitalizing on the hype, all these news reports, because, I mean, who doesn't want to read about aliens and flying saucers? Like we do it now, don't we? And this story is still fascinating to this day, but why has it reappeared? They go on to try to come up with an explanation for what happened. They're saying people were inclined to believe him, especially the people that knew him. Oh my gosh. So apparently they have kept a secret from everyone since the 60s about this encounter. Ooh. So they waited all this time so that they could go and report on the story again to give us some more information. That is really, really mysterious and adds to the mystery of the story. For all the interest in George and his encounter, there remained a secret to which only a handful of people were privy. Dude, it went almost entirely unnoticed by all those hundreds of trespassing sightseers and headline-chasing journalists. Apparently, these blokes who witnessed the encounter were not keen to bring too many people into the fold. But one of their friends, Valerie, knew who they let in on. Whoa, these guys been holding out. Apparently, there were way more so-called saucer nests in Horseshoe Lagoon. So there was more than like that one sighting that they were talking about. Dude, you guys are holding out. Like, why? They say, even stranger, these shapes would keep appearing on the farm for decades to come. Dude, that is really cool. But why didn't they put a lot of effort into these crop circles? Why are they just like smushed plants? How come they didn't do like the really pretty, like geometric, well thought out crop circles that really made us think about it? This one was just lazy. And it's like, no hoax. This is legit, you guys. Totally. I don't know if it's legit. I think it's just some lazy crop circles. Have you seen those people that try to emulate crop circles and they just kind of like stood on it to like flatten it down? I mean, it was rough. It wasn't precisely like the edges weren't precisely like cut and they weren't sharp. So it makes sense. Whatever. I don't know. Why are you holding out? Seriously. Why wait 60 years to tell us there was like heaps more of these? There were more occurrences of crop circles in another state in South Australia in a place called Bordertown, and it happened in an oat field in 1973. And there was even a UFO researcher who went and checked it out. Types of circles, like not the geometrical pieces of art that we're used to. Again, however, see, that's what I was talking about. That. Yeah. That's what that looks like. The sighting in the first story I was telling you about. Oh, is this a lie? For some, saucer nests had become the subject of genuine scientific inquiry. Anyway, I know I went sidetracked there, but apparently there were 7 of these like flat shapes scattered across the farm, and he would investigate similar reports over the years. Unfortunately for believers, their credibility was dealt a catastrophic blow in 1991 when British artists Doug Bauer and Dave Chorley admitted they had faked hundreds of the celestial glyphs across the UK since the 70s. Yeah, see, like from that clip we just saw, it looks messy like that. So I think these guys were just out in the middle of nowhere and just bored. Totally bored. And it was a time for like aliens everywhere, alien sightings. So maybe these guys kind of got in on it. Yeah, there were more of these crop circles to come through the years, apparently. The other guy that saw the crop circle, Shane, he actually never saw a flying saucer, but he says he seen about 25 to 30 more of those crop circles, and it was too many that he didn't even like count them anymore. The last sighting Shane says he saw of a crop circle was about 10 years ago. So it's been happening all this time. So also it's been happening over the last 20 years, but the frequency of the appearances of these crop circles were like a lot less. So Shane says he has his reasons for not coming forward with these sightings over the last 60 years since the first one. Well, because there has been a recent shift towards UFOs now. So yeah, I see that. There's like a lot of people just speaking freely about their experiences, and there's a lot of disclosure from the military about it now. Oh, he's going to sell the farm because he's like so old now. Oh no. It's never stopped this whole time. They must have liked him, or they must have like felt safe there. I wonder what they were doing there. Do you reckon there's like an alien, like base under there? Dude. Anyway, that's it for me. I hope you like that one.